Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're doing well. So Epic is up a whopping nearly 30%, 41% in volume since our video yesterday. It's doing absolutely tremendously well. But here's what I'm going to tell you, my friends. Take effing profits where you can. Take profits because nothing is guaranteed in this space. So, I don't want to hear about you saying, oh, man, I've lost, it pumped or whatever. No one gives a damn. Secure the profits. Otherwise, they are completely unrealized. And then if it dips, which we're going to talk about shortly, we can always buy back. So you can see, guys, the price has been very healthy and the volume as well as holders are increasingly on the positive side. It was 2.6 yesterday. It's, right now it's gained, another 100 plus holders, up 10%. Volume's up 41%. All great. Market cap is also up to 62%. All good metrics, guys. But we're going to talk about the market in a more intelligent way. Of course, this is not to sound any bearish alarms, but I have been noticing some significant depletion of funds in key, absolutely vital chains. Spot volume on the Sui blockchain is down by 48%, right? 48%, that's a lot. Now, when you actually look at how popular Sui is, you'd also realize that stablecoins across the board are down significantly. Look at this, kapow, right? So this tells you something. Now, chains do this, and they tend to do this in terms of rotation. One chain is hot, whales gather and go to a different chain. But look at the stable coins now in Sei, which were absolutely running wild. They are up slightly compared to Sui, but nevertheless, they are down in the last 7 days, right? And you're starting to see that picture repeated across the entire board. Of course, Solana is different. Solana is different because of the fact that Solana's shitcoin, casino and everything else is just so much way more bigger than anything that we can imagine in crypto. Okay. And of course, for those of you that are looking to do comparisons right now, Sui would have to be at a target of 2960 to kind of do that Solana market cap, which will put the fully diluted valuation even way higher. But are there more tricks coming, guys? We need to understand a couple of key things that the market is showing you. So one, I'm actually showing you that spot volume is diminishing. Stablecoin volumes are also tanking. And of course, that is with the exception of like, say, Solana, which I think will continue to operate in the bear market in the same manner. But if you look at across the board, right, stable coins for a lot of these layer ones are in the red, and that's no accident. Of course, it is definitely an indication of what's to come in the market for the next few weeks, maybe perhaps a month or so. So in order for you to get these spectacular moves, you're going to have to be a little bit patient. Okay, so we can agree that crypto right now is in a phase to recoil and take advantage of the next move. Now, what will happen? Nobody knows. Currently, the price is at $118,000 for Bitcoin. I will talk about this. If we drop to 115, again, there is a fair value gap there that could be filled. Beyond that, there are those, because sometimes you have to listen to different opinions in the market, of course, and this correction in terms of an ABC takes us down to 105, which is a fair value gap and a liquidity sweep with a support of 75K. Now, I'm not saying we're going there, but of course, I like to take different opinions in order for me to understand fully where the market could fall. Now, the next couple of months could be a big surprise in the market. Of course, we are entering a period of unprecedented cryptocurrency growth in terms of the overall adoption of crypto. But we have to be careful, right? This is the weekly chart. You can see here we have been blazing non-stop since the last bear market. Okay. Now, there is one chart here in my macro charts that people don't really talk about it, but I want to show it to you anyway. Gonna give it to you straight. Of course, this chart is quite important and no one's talking about it, right? Essentially, no one is talking about the Total2, guys. Total2 is going to be talked about. Why? Because if you look at the Total2 here, right, we have a psychological resistance of 1.6 trillion. We've just got rejected. At the same time, when we got previously rejected from this level, this was in when? December. What happened? It led to the crazy rejection here. And then if you go all the way back to November 2021, a rejection there sent crypto into the bear market. I doubt if this will send us into a bear market immediately, but guys, come on, you can see what I'm trying to show you here, okay? You can see what I'm trying to show you here. There's one day in 2021. Again, this is on the weekly. There's one day in December 24. That was a brilliant time. A sell signal, of course, everybody held on to their bags due to the inauguration. Sell the news, send crypto to its lows in April. Look at the Total2 market cap here. A wick to the bottom of just 814 billion. And then a rejection here from the 1.6 trillion resistance. What you're going to have is, if you see this on the daily, it becomes even more clear why we are in such an important level. Okay, so we had this red candle here. Let me just remove we had this red candle here, came back, and now we retested it again. But you can see the daily RSI still pointing downwards to take advantage of course, if there's a attempt again, we will see that on Monday. But really what we want to be is on the Total2 to finish above that 1.6 trillion resistance. All right, guys. So overall, I would say in conclusion, let's wait and see what happens on Monday. Sui is still, for me, a massive opportunity within the Sui DeFi, Sui meme coins, Sui protocols like, Walrus. Sui is an important blockchain, guys. Very important. You got to look at the TVL in some of these. Like I said, if you compare Sui to Solana, I think Sui does do 100 billion potentially, but that could be FDV, right? So you still don't want to be settling for a 7x from here, but that is a potential target. I would say more towards the $15 to $20. If it gets to $20, I mean, that would be a massive. But for anything from $10 upwards, it's going to be squeaky bum time and pressure will be on massively. Okay, so in conclusion, guys, stay alert. Take advantage of any potential slides of these major cryptocurrencies. You could see here volume rising at the same time, the chart rising. Normally that is a bearish divergence for these cryptocurrencies. Overall, I think I'm bullish long term, but I've been saying time and time again, look at the entire picture and consider the entire picture as one, so you could be less emotion or emotionless and be more focused in terms of the overall momentum. Whenever that breaks down, turns bearish after topside sweep, well, we're not turning bearish. We're just showing you what's happening in terms of the next moves and next opportunities. It could well be an opportunity of lifetime. People don't realize sometimes the bull market could spill into 2026 while everyone is waiting for the top just to happen in October, November this year, as per tradition. This is far from a traditional cycle. Therefore, we have to right now, if you haven't learned the lessons, it might be too late. So, use these videos as a lesson to understand, relax, look for important assets, scoop those assets on a dip, take profit where you can, right? We just talked about Epic, guys. Epic is absolutely doing madness. So take profits. No one's going to be complaining about you taking money off the table. In the meantime, it could continue to run. What I would say is everything that goes up must come down. And at some point, the volume of all these cryptocurrencies spooks based on the movement of Bitcoin and Ethereum, guys. So, yeah, like I said, shout out to Nansen, Tangent, and of course, my preferred exchange of choice, Mexi Global, who I will be doing bits and pieces for the community. Sign up to Mexi through my link and get some key rewards. I'll catch you on tomorrow's video, guys. Have a lovely weekend. And of course, in the VIP group, I'll be updating the weekly outlook for next week, guys. Look out for that. And if you want to join us, it's just $9 a month. You can do so. Take care. God bless and stay safe.